Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Face TV Muswobi.
Coming out of the Federal High Court, Abuja on Monday has now adjourned the suit that was brought by the 12 detainees aides of Sunday Igboho, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, to August the 4th. According to Justice Igboho that granted the applicant, the lawyer Pelumi Olagbanjese, the leave to amend its process to correct the names. I'll be telling you a little bit more about, while the names has been a bit of issue last week, the reason why, the DSS, and again, this is Star Radio UK, the morning show, and welcome to those of you that are joining us. The reason why, they were not brought to the court, the DSS says, the names that they have with them is actually different from the names that the lawyers have produced. But on Friday, the lawyer had opportunity to meet up with 4 out of those in the care of the DSS. But it seems the DSS, as you can imagine, after 31 days, not allowing, legal representative to meet up with them, these issues could have been verified, could have been clarified. But the names now is kind of a bit of mixture. And as you can see, only 8 of them were brought to the court, according to the information that we have. But right now, the court has now adjourned it to the 4th of August, which is just about, 2 more days from today, and then we will be expecting what will be the outcome of it as well. But let me come back again to you now in the studio. Again, this is Star Radio UK, the African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koike for you. But Yomi, I remember that the judicial holidays has started in Nigeria. So how come that this judge is still sitting? What interest has it got in there?
Well, yes, it has started, but this is the option of the sitting judge to decide whether the court continue. As the case of Nnamdi Kanu, we saw that played out again. The DSS never brought Kanu to the court, and that court has now adjourned the case till the 20th of October, to give room for the learned judge that will be on holiday as well. But what I can say is, with this particular case, it seems, the judge is trying to get it as quickly as possible out of the way. And maybe, just maybe, these individuals could be able to get a bail out of the court, out of the hands of the DSS just before he might announce his own vacation. And that's probably why, the court case has now been moved to the 4th of August, which is just about 2 days from now.
But the other question I want to find out from there is, now, what justification has the DSS given for the 4 others who didn't appear? Why were they not there? And what about the 2 bodies of the people who were killed in the premises of Sunday Igboho? What account have they given about that?
Well, the DSS is quite, if you look at a terrible situation in Nigeria where, rule of law is not respected, you might want to ask yourself, who is actually in charge? Is it the order from the above? Is the DSS now more powerful than the court itself? The excuse, from what I know from the background of the case, since when we've been following it, is because of the names that have been in the hands of the DSS, and as at the name that was produced in the court by the official that representing these 12 individuals. That is the reason why we've not been able to see that taking place. But let's hope within the next 48 hours before coming back to court, DSS would have to bring every one of them that was taken away on the 1st of July right at the house of Chief Sunday Igboho, at his residence when an assassination attempt was taken on his life, in as much as he escaped it as well.
Okay, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koike, bringing you updates from Nigeria. But let me acknowledge, please, Simon, please. Good morning and thank you very much. I had a good weekend. Tiring, but was good, and hope that you also did same. It says that terrorism, banditry in Nigeria is government agenda. UK Parliament says that's what Apisa posted there. And it's a very good morning to you, Koike. You welcome on board. Really missed you. And Anthony Adeniji just gives a thumbs up this morning. Anthony, I hope you are doing very well. And Fasasi Ramon, he says, good morning, Mr. Koike. Okay then. So, Yami, let's move on to some of the other stories that is making the rounds. Over to you.
Once again, if you've just joined us, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Remember to follow us on www.starradiouk.com, where you can get all the latest news and what is happening from around the globe as well. Also, the best way to enjoy and follow all the what we do on Star Radio UK is to download the apps on Star Radio UK. Also, if you're sending money home, remember to use Send Waves and remember to use the code SR, S for star, R for radio. Let's now go into some of the other headlines coming out of Nigeria this morning. Last week, quite a lot took place, but because I was not on air, last week, we were unable to report some of those proceedings last week. But what I will be able to say is we will give as much as what we have today, and then maybe on Wednesday, during the Niger Voices, I will go through some of those proceedings, especially a lot of people that would like to know what has been happening in Benin Republic in terms of, the latest on Chief Sunday Igboho. What I can say is he's still in the custody of the Beninese, in Benin. At the moment, he's been held there because on Monday, when we thought, we will be getting an outcome of the case, apparently, the sitting went for quite a very long time, for up to about 11 o'clock midnight. But unfortunately, what came out is, according to the solicitor, was the Benin have now charged him, for getting into the country, through, probably an illegal way. But we will have to find out why, because if Benin is a ECOWAS country, and he was only moving from, the attack on his house out of the country. But all that we'll be discussing maybe on Wednesday as well, and we'll be giving more information. I've spoken to the team on the ground as of this morning, but all I can say is, there is not latest any information. But as soon as we have those information, we'll be giving it to all our listeners and viewers on Star Radio UK, which is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's go straight into some of the other headlines as well. Petrol subsidy may gop up 2 trillion naira this year, according to Rain Oil Boss. Also, Nigerian loan from the World Bank and African Development Bank has now risen to 14.35 billion. I was looking at a kind of a statistics, and let me see if I can pull that up quickly. This was a comparison of when Jonathan was in power and, since, these APC government took power as well. And let's go straight to some of those statistics. What I can tell us, according to when Obasanjo was there, these are the debt status under Obasanjo regime. In 1999, Obasanjo, the external debt was $28 billion. The domestic debt was 0.75 trillion at the fixed rate of 98.2. In 2000, that also went again to just about some few $billion. The external debt rose to 28.27 billion US dollars, as the domestic debt was also 0.8898 trillion naira. The fixed rate again was 100.6. Let's now move forward before Obasanjo left. In 2002, the external debt was 23.51 billion US dollars. Let's now move forward and look at, according to what we have now, the debt status under this country, under the government of Buhari. In 2015, when Buhari came down, after Jonathan left the power, the external debt was 7.35 billion US dollars, while our domestic debt was 8.84 trillion at the fixed rate of 197. In 2017, as you might thought, that went up again to 7.84 billion US dollars, which is the external debt, as the domestic debt now rise by almost 4 trillion naira to 11.6 trillion. I can tell you now, in 2017, our external debt is now at the value of 14.8 billion US dollars. And again, the domestic debt have risen up by another 1 trillion naira, which is now 12.5 trillion. These are the statistics. And in the last 21 years, let's now break it down from 1999 to 2007 at about this is the exchange rate, 116 naira to a dollar. But today, if you're buying the dollar, you're paying about 381. This is not available in the bank, so you might have to buy it from the black market. So again, you can see the difference. This morning, if you're sending money home to your loved ones, is about 705 naira to a pound, which indicate that the country is really going to drain. And the reason for all this is because when you're not producing, you're actually consuming. And as a country that is consuming, if you're not producing, you do not have enough forex to play with. And that is probably why, the exchange rate continue to drain as well.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, subscribe,
Face TV. Muswobi.